I think it's going to be a complete different version of Dillian. I reckon he's going to try to box me.
Then land a liver shot while remaining responsible enough to keep his right glove up to block the attack. Gamboa lands some hooks that knock Crawford off balance, but he uses that momentum to slip to his left to generate another body shot. He then pulls away from
They compare him to two legends. Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali's footwork. You know, so yeah. It's, you know, I'm fighting out.
Moses Itauma already smells blood in the water. He's seen the signs. He's read the body language. He knows exactly why Dillian Whyte is planning to switch up his approach, moving away from the tear-up style that made his name, and instead trying to box at range.
I think it's going to be a complete different version of Dillian. I reckon he's going to try to box me. Because obviously he's lost the weight, so obviously he's not going to try and knock me out or like try to bang me out in like the first couple rounds. And obviously he's not going to want to have to tear up with me because you can't do that.
On paper, it's a tactical shift. To Moses, it's something else entirely, the unmistakable scent of survival mode before the opening bell has even rung. Itauma doesn't view this as clever strategy. He sees cracks forming in real time. He's convinced Whitey's weight loss is more about desperation than discipline.
I don't know what kind of game he's playing outside the ring, but I know that he's lost a lot of weight. He's taking his fight serious, and he's coming to obviously trying to ruin the party. So it's obviously my job to let that
minute dash to chase speed he's never really had. In Moses' eyes, this is the real blunder, abandoning the natural power game that once made Whitey dangerous and stepping into a fight where speed, timing, and relentless pressure are Moses' bread and butter. And the scary part? Moses Itauma hasn't just avoided being beaten, he hasn't even been touched, let alone...
I mean, Dillian is a former elite fighter. We're going to see if he's still an elite fighter, but we're also going to learn a little bit more about Moses, because if Moses goes in and blasts him out in 2 or 3 rounds, I don't know what we make of it, but what we want to see is Dillian put it upon Moses and see what the reaction is, because no one has done it, have they, Spence? No one has troubled this kid.
Troubled. That's what makes this matchup so intriguing. Simon Jordan puts it bluntly. If Dillian Whyte believes that experience alone will rattle Moses Itauma, he's mistaken. This is a young fighter with no fear, and that can be far more dangerous than any veteran tricks. A fearless fighter doesn't hesitate, doesn't second guess, and that edge, Jordan warns, could break Whitey before the final bell ever comes. Adam Smith goes...
Whatever happens next Saturday with Moses Itauma, it's all part of the education. I think obviously he starts as a favourite because of his form. He's undefeated in 12, 10 knockouts, perfect record as an amateur. And I've said many times what I love about Moses is the fact that other great heavyweights talk about him in such glowing terms.
Even further, framing this as more than just another fight. To him, this is a pivotal moment in Moses Itauma's journey, the kind of crossroads bout that can define a young heavyweight's rise. He sums it up perfectly. It's the classic tale of youth versus experience. Whitey brings grit, ring know-how, and the scars of hard nights, but Moses has hunger, freshness, and that intangible momentum that can flip the script on fight night. With a perfect record and devastating knockout power, Moses steps...
He's really admired, and I think he's very, very good. What I've seen is a slick southpaw who's got the speed of a middle, a super middle, and has got the power of a heavyweight. He's awkward to fight, his timing is terrific. And they obviously believe that he can go all the way and very quick.
In as the clear favorite, and when you hear the way Smith describes him, slick southpaw stance, middleweight hand speed, and true heavyweight power, you understand why the buzz keeps growing. That blend of attributes makes him awkward, unpredictable, and dangerous from the first bell. Against a reinvented Whitey, who's looking to box cautiously, facing that kind of speed and timing could prove to be the exact mistake that seals his fate. Fraser Clark sees this as a fight that may not reach the later rounds, and with good reason. Itauma thrives under the spotlight, and Clark believes this headlining stage will only ignite his fire further. The real danger for Whitey isn't...
I don't know Moses personally, I've spoken to him a few times, but I think he's definitely a man for the occasion. And I do think, with him being a headliner, I hope he doesn't get too excited and not do his usual job.
but I think we wanted to make a statement, and I think he's well capable of doing that.
Just Moses' punching power, it's the pace he can set from the opening seconds. If Whitey's game plan is to slow things down, box at range, and keep exchanges minimal, Clark warns that it will evaporate the moment Moses decides to force the action. His only concern is whether the excitement of the occasion could tempt Itauma into reckless territory. But Clark adds that the beauty of Moses' style lies in its balance. Even when aggressive, he's measured, calculated chaos. Against a Whitey who's shedding weight and actively avoiding a slugfest, an early statement win feels less like a bold prediction and more like an inevitable reality. Anthony Crolla adopts a cautious tone, and it's a fair stance. Yes, Moses has made top opponents look ordinary, almost effortlessly, but this isn't just another journeyman test. Whitey brings awkwardness, experience.
Moses could be that good, and you know, it makes it look easy, but I don't think it will be easy. I think we've got a fight on our hands.
And enough power to punish any lapse in concentration. The intrigue lies in whether Whitey can impose himself. The question, as Crolla frames it, is this: will Moses finally face real adversity here? Or will he dismantle Whitey the same way he has dismantled everyone else? The fight may have competitive moments, but over 10 rounds, the gulf in freshness, speed, and timing is vast. For Itauma, the challenge will be maintaining composure if Whitey drags him into messy, rough exchanges. For Whitey, the challenge will be surviving the inevitable storm. Either way, Crolla concludes, we've got a fight on our hands. The kind of fight Moses relishes turning into a showcase. Gareth A. Davies has been around long enough to know hype from the real thing, and the buzz around Moses Itauma, he says,
world wanting to go there because Moses Itauma is fascinating. I spoke to Francis Warren ringside on Saturday night. You had a microphone as well. Were you allowed to put the pressure on them to speak? Because I just did anyway.
Is real. He calls Moses fascinating, a fitting word for a fighter who blends youth skill and fearlessness in equal measure. Fans aren't just tuning in to see a result. They want to know if this is the night Moses cements himself as a must-watch heavyweight force. Davies' ringside chat with promoter Francis Warren underscored the point. The industry is paying very close attention. Promoters, journalists, fighters, they all want to see if Whitey can pose the kind of questions nobody else has been able to so far. For a 19-year-old to generate this much intrigue is rare. It speaks volumes about both his talent and his stage presence. This isn't just a fight, it's an event, and Moses Itauma is the reason why. Peter Fury's assessment is glowing.
Fabulous young talent. He's got speed, he's got power, he's tough, he's game. He ticks all the boxes so far. So let's see. Again, he's young. You know, he's not really been tested because what he's doing to these opponents. So let's see, it's early days, but big future for him.
But grounded. He lists every quality a top heavyweight needs: speed, power, toughness, and the willingness to fight, and notes that Moses ticks every single box. But Fury also adds a note of caution. Moses has yet to be truly tested. That's why this fight is compelling. Whitey has the experience to push Moses into deep waters, but he also has the mileage of a fighter who's been in too many wars. Peter's observations aren't hype. They're backed by what's happened so far. Moses hasn't just been winning, he's been dismantling seasoned professionals with precision and style. This bout could give us the first glimpse of how he handles real adversity, or it could further reinforce the belief that his rise is inevitable. Tyson Fury's words carry serious weight in the sport, and his take on this fight mixes intrigue with praise. He wonders aloud how much Whitey truly has left in the tank. A fair question given the punishment.
It's going to be interesting to see how much that Dillian Whyte has left. And could this be potential? I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours. And that's why you got to watch it and find out. But one thing I will say about Moses is he's a very good fighter, good little boxer, good puncher, and a lovely kid as well. It's like a sponge.
Whitey has taken in recent years. Fury isn't dismissing Whitey outright, but the undertone is clear. This could be a case of too much too soon for the older fighter against a young, hungry contender. When Fury calls Moses a very good fighter and like a sponge, it's more than flattery. It's recognition of his rare ability to absorb lessons instantly and apply them under pressure. That adaptability could be key if Whitey tries to throw different looks at him to unsettle his rhythm. Fury's too early comment could be applied to both men. Too early for Whitey to be stepping in with someone this fresh, and too early in Moses' career to be taking on a name this big. But the truth is simple. If Moses wins, it proves he's ready for the top. If he dominates, it signals that Whitey's time has passed. Johnny Nelson sizes up the matchup with trademark bluntness. Dillian Whyte, he says, will fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. But at this stage of his career,
that new star establishes himself, so just wait and see, but it's exciting.
What do you make of Itauma versus Dillian Whyte?
It's a good fight. Dillian likes to fight. He'll have a tear up.
Yeah.
You know, you can't test this man's cojones. You know, he'll fight anybody and everybody. So with Dillian doing that, you think, you know what? You know, it's a good fight, good testing fight, and like you might.
Career, he may now be the gatekeeper to the next generation. That's both a compliment to his warrior mentality and an acknowledgement that his days at the very top might be behind him. For Moses Itauma, this is a measuring stick, not an even fight, a benchmark to see how decisively he can smash through the old guard. Nelson's likes a fight comment is telling because against Moses, that instinct could be Whitey's undoing. If he stands and trades, Moses' speed and precision will pick him apart. If he tries to outbox him, relentless pressure will eventually close the gap. Nelson's honesty frames it perfectly. This is the moment we see if Moses can storm through the gate, or if Whitey can slam it shut one last time. Derek Chisora never minces words. His blunt honesty makes his take one of the most eye-opening.
Bitter beef, because bitter beef didn't do like, yeah, bitter beef was more like close and compact, yeah. But if you ask them, let's do like 5 punches, yeah, bitter beef, every punch.
In the entire build-up, when he says he personally phoned Whitey to question his decision to take the fight, it underlines just how dangerous Moses Itauma is seen to be within the boxing world. This kid is on fire, Chisora says, and it's not hyperbole. Moses has been improving at a rapid rate, evolving with every camp, every round, every punch. For a fighter like Whitey, who may be past his peak and is now trying to adjust his style late in his career, that's a nightmare scenario. Chisora's trademark prison joke adds humor, but the message underneath is serious. This could be a beating so decisive that people will wonder why it was even made. Coming from a fellow warrior who respects both men, it's perhaps the most telling warning yet, and it's aimed squarely at Whitey. When the first bell rings, this won't just be Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte. It will be the collision of youth and hunger against grit and fading experience. If Moses wins, especially in dominant fashion, it will be his launchpad into genuine world-level contention, proof that his talent and composure can dismantle a name once feared in the division. If Whitey shocks the world, it will be the ultimate redemption story, a veteran refusing to be a stepping stone and reclaiming his place in the heavyweight conversation. This fight isn't only about power or speed, it's about mental strength, about who can adapt when the plan falls apart, and about who truly wants it more when the lights are brightest. For Moses, it's a chance to stamp his authority on the new era. For Whitey, it's about survival, legacy, and proving the doubters wrong. So the question becomes simple. Are you backing Moses Itauma to usher in the new wave, or betting on Dillian Whyte to hold the door shut one last time?